Most people don't lose because they didn't work hard enough. They lose because they didn't stop. They hit the target and then kept going. They won the argument and then kept talking. They closed the deal and then pushed for one more thing. And in that one extra move, they handed back everything they just earned. That is not ambition. That's greed. It's greed wearing ambition's clothes. And Law 47 is about learning the difference before it costs you something you can't get back. I'm Chief. Welcome to Chief Logic. 48 laws of power. We're on Law 47. Don't go past the goal. Know when to stop. Robert Greene opens this law with the simple observation that most ambitious people are too proud to sit with. Victory creates a dangerous problem. The moment you win, your confidence spikes. Your judgment gets clouded by momentum. And that momentum starts whispering to you that you can keep pushing, that you can take a little more, that stopping now will be leaving something on the table. So you keep moving, and that is exactly when you walk into the trap. Every general who ever won a battle and then marched too far into enemy territory learned this the hard way. You stretch your supply lines, you move away from your strengths. You enter unfamiliar ground, and an enemy who was ready to accept defeat suddenly has a reason to fight back because now you've given them one. The same thing happens in business, in relationships, in negotiations, in your personal life. The win was there, you had it, and then you overreached, and that was yours, slipped right through your hands. You are reading everything around you carefully because you know you cannot afford a mistake. The most dangerous moment is right after you win. That is when your guard drops. That is when you stop reading the room. That is when you make the move that undoes everything you just built. The hill that defeats most people is not the one they couldn't climb. It's the one they climbed successfully and then refused to come down from. Know when you are standing on top, and know that standing on top is not the same as staying on top. Let me make this concrete because this law is not abstract. This is happening in your life right now in ways you might not be seeing clearly. You finally have a productive conversation with someone who has been distant from you. The walls come down. The air clears. You could leave it there. Let the moment breathe and let the relationship rebuild naturally. But you don't. You push. You bring up the old grudge. You add the one extra point you've been holding on to. And the wall goes right back up, harder than it was before. You negotiate a deal, and the other side agrees to your number. A fair outcome, a clean win. But you feel that pull, that voice that says, ask for a little more. They're already saying yes, so you push. And now they feel taken advantage of. Now they're looking for a way out of the deal entirely. You build momentum on a project. Things are moving. Results are showing up. But instead of letting the system run and compound, you start adding more, changing things, layering on new ideas before the first ones have had time to work. And you interrupt the very momentum you created. Overreach doesn't always look like a dramatic mistake. Most of the time, it looks like one small, unnecessary extra move made at exactly the wrong moment. There's a version of discipline nobody talks about. Most people understand discipline as the ability to keep going when things are hard. Push through the resistance. Grind when you don't feel like it. That discipline is real and it matters. But there is a second discipline that is rare and more powerful. It is the discipline to stop when you have won. To close your mouth when the point has been made. To step back from the table when the deal is done. To let a good thing be good without squeezing it until it breaks. That discipline requires you to trust yourself enough to know that walking away from the table with a win is not weakness, it's mastery. The person who always needs one more thing never actually has enough, and the person who always needs one more thing never actually wins the conversation. Stop when you are ahead. That is not settling. That's strategy. Here's the real reason people go past the goal. And this is where I want you to be honest with yourself. It's not ambition. Ambition has a target. Ambition knows what it's building towards. What drives overreach is ego. Ego does not have a target. Ego just needs more validation, more control, more proof that it is as powerful as it believes itself to be. Ego can't accept that a clean win is enough because accepting that would mean stopping. And stopping feels like weakness to an ego that has not been disciplined. So the ego keeps pushing. It turns a one argument into a lecture. It turns a closed deal into an opportunity to remind the other person who had the power. It turns a moment of real victory into a demonstration. And that demonstration is what hands the power right back to the other side. The chief logic is clear on this. Your ego is the most expensive habit you will ever maintain. Every time it demands one more move, one more word, one more push after the goal has already been reached. It is writing a check that results will eventually have to cash. This law is also about how you leave a room, how you exit a situation, how you choose a chapter. Most people don't know how to exit cleanly. They drag things out. They go back for one more conversation that did not need to happen. They reopen a closed door just to make sure it's really closed. And every time they do that, they dilute whatever they accomplish and give the other side a second chance to change the outcome. A clean exit is a skill. It requires you to define success before you begin, so that you recognize it when it arrives. It requires you to decide in advance what you are going for, so your emotions don't move the target mid-execution. And it requires you to trust the win enough to protect it by stopping. This applies to everything. Know what a successful conversation looks like before you have it, so you know when to stop talking. Know what a successful negotiation looks like before you enter it, so you know when to stop pushing. Know what a successful year looks like before it starts, so you know when to consolidate instead of overextend. Define the goal, reach the goal, stop. Define the goal before you start, because if you don't define it in advance, your ego will define it the moment you get close. You'll move the finish line. You'll tell yourself you just need a little more, and that little more will cost you everything you already had. Decide what winning looks like before the game starts. Then, when you get there, have the discipline to call it a win and just walk off the field. That's not settling. That is what it looks like to actually be in control of yourself. If you are in the middle of building something right now, this law is speaking directly to you. You are building a brand. You are building income streams. You are trying to create a life that does not require you to ask anyone for permission. That is the goal. That is what you are moving towards. And the trap this law is warning you about is the one where you get a taste of momentum and immediately try to do everything at once. You start the YouTube channel and it begins to move, so you immediately launch the podcast, the course, the merchandise, the second channel, the speaking career, all at the same time. And you spread yourself so thin that none of it gets the focused energy it needs to actually compound. Pick the goal that is in front of you right now. Build it until it's solid. Then, and only then, do you expand. Formlessness is about adapting your shape when the situation demands it. It's about knowing when the situation is telling you to consolidate, not expand. Build one thing until it works. Then build the next thing from a position of strength, not desperation. Law 47 is not a law about playing small. It's a law about playing smart. Knowing when to stop does not mean you lack hunger. It means your hunger is disciplined enough to protect what it earns. It means you are thinking 3 moves ahead instead of just reacting to the one in front of you. It means you respect the win enough to not gamble it away, chasing something you did not plan for. We are one law away from closing the 48 Laws of Power series. Law 48 is coming, and it's the one that ties all of this together. If you have been walking through this series with me and you want something to write in, my book, Chief Logic, 50 Quotes for a Life of Purpose and Power, is on Amazon and Kindle. Quotes, final thoughts, and journal prompts, built for exactly this kind of internal work. Link is in the description. Here's your prompt for this law. Before your next significant move, write down exactly what winning looks like. Know what you hope for. Not the best case. What does a successful outcome actually require? Write that down. Commit to it. And when you reach it, stop. Protect your wins. Stop when you are ahead. Think on that. Stay sharp. Stay grounded.